The Conservative Party of Canada has just announced the results of a vote by delegates on Pierre Poilievre's leadership. The vote came at the party's convention in Calgary. Kate McKenna is there and has been following the story all day. Kate, what have party delegates decided?
Well, Erica, results are in, and Pierre Poilievre got 87.4% of support from the delegates here. This is a big result. This is on the higher end of what organizers here were expecting. It does surpass the benchmark that was set by Stephen Harper in 2005. And of course, this comes after months of planning from Pierre Poilievre's team to sort of overcome this, what they perceive to be a final hurdle after a tough year last year where they lost the election, where he lost his seat and two members of his caucus crossed the floor. They didn't want to leave anything up to chance. Pierre Poilievre himself was meeting with delegates. He was speaking with people individually. We know that people on his team were following up with them ahead of this vote, but they're very happy with the result they got today.
And this result, Kate, after a nearly hour-long speech he made.
Yeah, he gave a long speech where he shared his vision for the country. A lot of it was stuff that we heard from him before, his view on how Canada should pursue its sovereignty by opening up extraction of resources, standing up for the people who he says are unseen, people who are having trouble making ends meet. He says that the Conservatives are the ones who are going to be able to do that. And this room, that message resonated.
All right. Thank you, Kate. Kate McKenna in Calgary tonight. Now let's bring in Chief Political Correspondent Rosemary Barton. Rosie, a huge result for Poilievre. What message does this send?
I think it says a couple of messages, and I should say that Pierre Poilievre's team is overjoyed with this result and breathing a deep sigh of relief, not because there was any doubt, but they wanted a really strong mandate here, and they're coming out of this leadership review with that. It sends a couple of messages, I think. The first one, that Pierre Poilievre really has a grip on the party, that this is right now his party, from the delegates to the organization to the message that he sent to people in this room tonight. And the second is that he will be able to continue very easily if he wants to. It would be very difficult for people inside caucus or others to question his leadership with a number like that. So it secures his position. It gives him a strong mandate to continue. And I think it gives him some confidence and momentum coming out of today as well.
Okay, so looking ahead, what's next for Poilievre?
So in some ways, today was the easy part. He won over this room. He won over the party that believes strongly in him. What he has yet to do, of course, is win over Canadians. This means he will live on. He will fight another election so long as caucus remains with him. But he still has a lot of work to do to convince many Canadians that he's up for the job as Prime Minister. You heard Kate there talk about some of the themes of his speech tonight. Those are all common themes for Conservatives and important themes for that party. An area where he didn't go very far, though, still was on how he would plan to deal with Donald Trump. We're told that we should expect more details on that in the coming days, and that he will spend some time touring the country and talking about those things. But given the state of the world right now, given geopolitics, given the space the Prime Minister has taken up on the world stage on some of these issues, it's been very hard for Pierre Poilievre to punch through. So he is going to have to find an answer to some of those critical questions about how he, as Prime Minister, would deal with the changes we're seeing and the threats from Donald Trump. Affordability is still his main message, but if he wants to be perceived as having the experience, the skills, the resume to deal with the American president, he's going to have to come up with some answers that will convince Canadians in these critical times that he can do it.
All right. Thanks, Rosie. That's CBC News Chief Political Correspondent Rosemary Barton at the Conservative Party Convention in Calgary tonight.